We're now going to talk about different types of table relationships. We've talked about the fact that in a good database design that we remove data redundancy and that we divide the data into many subject-based tables. So we can define table relationships in Access that tell Access how to bring the divided information back together. So the table relationship works by matching data and key fields, usually a primary key from one table and a foreign key from the other table. So in this example, I have employee table and a manager table, and you can see that I have the common field of the employee ID. So that was what we would consider the linking variable. Notice that it is the primary key in the employee table, and it is considered the foreign key in the manager table. In this example, I have not just two tables, but three tables, and we can see that the linking variables are employee ID here, and then for the orders table to the customer table, I have customer ID. Now let's talk a little bit more about the three different types of table relationships: one-to-one, one-to-many, or many-to-many. So in the one-to-one relationship, each record in the first table can only have one matching record in the second table, and vice versa. So you'll notice here that claim ID is listed one time in the claim table and also listed one time in the settlement table. When working with good database design, this type of relationship is not common because this kind of information can usually be stored in the same table. There are a couple of exceptions if we want to isolate part of the data for security reasons or separate different types of data. The one-to-many relationship is the most common type in a good database design. Each record in the first table can have many matches for records in the second table, but each record in the second table can only have one match for records in the first table. So we'll notice here that customer ID 1004 is listed one time in the customer table, but it's listed multiple times in the order tables. And that makes sense. For each customer, we're going to have some individualized information for that customer ID, but certainly a customer might produce several different orders. All right, and we see this for all of our, or most of the customer IDs here. All right, the final type of relationship is a many-to-many relationship, and that's where each record in the first table can have many matching records in the second table, and vice versa. Now you may recognize that the way the information is presented here, and we've talked about this previously, that listing the information as we have in this order notes cell is not the best for database design. So it would be better to rearrange this information into three tables and use what's called a junction table. So we should change the many-to-many relationships so that we have instead of two tables, three tables, and the relationship between the tables is either one-to-many or many-to-one. And so we call this new table that we've produced now a junction table. All right, and so that's a key word that you should know. You should understand the three different types of relationships: one-to-many, many-to-many, and one-to-one.